Okay, here's what I'm going to try and do as kind of a program is that I will try and stick with these kids all the way through high school. I'm going to be here and try and be here once a week for a couple hours with the kids.
Giving back and giving hope. As the Madison School Tutoring Program enters its 13th year, it is expanding and calling on you for help. Look at this. Back in 1995, WISC TV3 and the Wisconsin State Journal took a look at issues facing the Madison Metropolitan School District.
Now, out of the work and with help of the United Way of Dane County, Schools of Hope grew. It is a tutoring program aimed to close the racial achievement gap. Now, the need continues tonight. In 1996, minority students enrolled in the district made up 28% of the total population. The number this year, nearly half the district's student body, meaning a program aiming to close achievement gaps needs that much more help.
The News 3's David Douglas has been spending time with the Schools of Hope program. He joins us now with more tonight. David.
Well, there is no doubt it takes a special and patient person to do this kind of work, and more are needed all the time. But many of us tied to our 9-to-5s can't get away, even if we want to. In depth, a couple local companies realize that and have found a way to give back without losing anything at all. 7th grader Henrietta Allison is a little shy. When her teacher asks the class for an answer, she doesn't jump at the chance.
Why don't you raise your hand?
I don't know. I don't like talking in front of the class.
But there's a someone.
Those two should look the same, only Bug should just look bigger.
Doing something about that.
When Henrietta and Monty work together, she does come back into the classroom and she feels more confident, she feels more prepared.
And that's because when we did it, we multiplied the X and the Y.
Monty is Monty Schmidt, Henrietta's Schools of Hope tutor.
When you have a one-on-one interaction in anything, when you're teaching something, you can have that much more of an effect than when it's a classroom of 15 or 20 kids.
It's that personal attention he's giving to several students each Monday morning at Madison Sherman Middle School.
I think a couple of them went up at least a grade level in math. And that's just me being here 2 hours a week.
I think that's really because Monty does the extra help with them and does the extra problems with them.
Monty makes the time to tutor in spite of a busy schedule as Chief Technology Officer and founder of Sonic Foundry. And he's using his role to ask his employees to follow his example.
This is the kind of thing that you can go back to the office and talk to the other people who are doing about it, and there's an excitement and a team building part of that that you just get.
That's why he's offering his staff paid time off to share what they know with students.
I think that makes people feel good about what they do and where they work. So there is a tangible benefit to doing it for the company beyond just the fact that I think it's the right thing to do.
Yes, there is release time involved, okay, but I think the benefits outweigh the cost.
Cheryl Rosen-Weston is CEO of the Douglas Stewart Company. Like Monty, she knows a happy employee is a good employee.
If I have people who come to work and they're excited and they feel good, they're going to be more productive when they are here.
It says a lot about her, about the company, and, you know, she understands that these are probably going to be her future, you know, workforce.
Each Wednesday, Katiana Aguado leaves work at Douglas Stewart early to tutor Abel Salron in social studies at La Follette High School.
When I first got introduced to him, I said hi in English, and as soon as I asked him, where are you from, in Spanish, his face lit up.
She knows where he's coming from. Like Abel, she learned English as her second language. Part of Katiana's passion is helping the 9th grader leap the learning hurdles she struggled with.
Working with Katiana is fantastic because she helps me with what I don't understand, and it makes a big difference because I can then understand what my teacher is trying to tell me.
He's not the only one with a smile on his face.
I have to remember that, you know, I'm not doing this just for myself, I'm doing this for him, but it is amazing. Like, I got home in a much better mood than I usually do.
It's that excitement and that desire to give that may just make these tutors, these students, best hope for success.
I think the other issue is to let other businesses know if we can do it, so can they.
Schools are hurting. They're hurting for people. They're hurting for supplies. These are all things that, again, it doesn't take a lot to make a difference.
Nearly 800 people volunteered last year, and more are needed all the time, and you can clearly see the difference just being there. That couple hours a week or that hour a week can really make.
It makes you feel good just watching the story.
It absolutely
know that it
does.
makes a difference. Now, we know Schools of Hope started with a third-grade reading program. Then it moved to algebra. Of course, math can be difficult. And now it's moved on beyond that. Is it working? Is it successful?
Well, the numbers, Terry, certainly show that it absolutely is working and that the gap is narrowing. I don't know if we can take a look. There we go. You can see in 1995, the number of African-American third graders who didn't make the grade in reading was nearly 29%. 10 years later, in 2005, only 5.5% aren't up to the standard, and that is just a massive improvement. Numbers for Latino students show huge student improvement. Less than 1% of those students not meeting the standard in 2005, and for Asian students, all students by 2005 were making the grade there. In math, you can see the numbers of students completing algebra by 10th grade have steadily risen across the board over the last 8 years, but when it comes down to it, it's not just scores improving. These kids really benefit from their tutors and learning to become better students.
They're excited and they're happy, and they feel, you can sense that they feel more confident when he leaves. Like they just feel happier about the day, and they feel, and I think really it's they are feeling the confidence and that they know, like, oh, we get it.
And that confidence is what teachers told us about over and over and over again, and the really solid relationship between the tutor and the student, and more than just being a tutor, but becoming a mentor and a role model for these kids.
And I bet even a friend.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The kids say they've gone to work with them, they've been to work functions, conferences that they slept through and were really bored, but they were happy to be there because they felt like they were a part of something.
Makes a huge difference. News 3's David Douglas. David, thank you very much. To learn more about Schools of Hope and get involved yourself, we've linked you to the school district's website on the program. Go there through channel3000.com.